smell something weird. Would have been in stitches if he heard that. You don't get your act together. Howdy. Lovely day for a romp through the forest, ain't it? Ha! Like hell. Goblins round here swarm as thick as flies round my cattle's asses. Put an axe in my bodyguard's face, one of them did. Right where his big drunken nose used to be. So, you wish to partake in a polite little parley about our respective prospects, purposes, and expectations in life, do you? Rotten, cotton-picking nonsense, that. I'm Roy. I'm in the animal trade. And instead of knocking back cheap rye in Silverglen, I'm stuck in a friggin' forest surrounded by totem-worshipping savages that want to use my privates for target practice. There, now you know it all. Aye, my latest set of merchandise. Joy to herd 'em, that lot, until they crap all over your shoes, that is. Won't cost me fortunes on bootblack's wages much longer, though. Bought him for cheap from Berkshire back in the city, and I'm about to sell him dearly indeed in sacred stone. Full of lunatics, that place, or so I've been told. They'll slice these beasts from ear to ear the moment they can get their hands on them. Use the blood in rituals or some such. Lunatics, right? Madman. Must you? No kidding. Ferocious as a hungry mountain lion, that lot, with swords and spears for talons. Donnie and I must have adventured too far north. I'm just gonna hang low until I can no longer smell him, and then I'll make a dash for it. Without an escort this time. Donnie, bah, some thug from Seal he was. All balls, no brains, you know. Perfect set of qualities to lead me past them zombies, I figured. Figured right, I did, until we met them goblins. Now, you can have balls bigger than that bull over there, but it takes a fair bit of wit and cunning to beat a goblin at the hunting game. And Donnie, I tell you, the simple soul would have believed you if you told him eggs grow on eggplants. Nah.
This rule is...
Oh, you'll provide protection, will ya? Be my paladin, my knight in shining armor. Like hell you will. You with your fancy weapons and armor, you rattle like a gypsy's wagon. Every damn goblin between here and the friggin' moon'll hear us coming. No, I'll get out of here soon enough by my God's damn self.
A shiny day to you. Delighted to make your acquaintance. Dear me. Slaughter. Blood. This cannot be. We must do something. Maurice, darling, do something.
Moo!
Bit late for that, innit? Trust you to raise a moot point, Maurice. Oh, kind human, have mercy on us poor animals. Deliver us from certain death in horrid Silverglen.
You have my welcome. Now give it back and scarp her. What? You're soft of heart, are you? The poor dears shouldn't be killed. I should just give up on the gold they'll fetch me. Well, say no more. Seriously, shut it. You think I risk life and limb for a bit of beef and mutton? Either you pay me in gold, or you leave me alone before all this chatter attracts the damn goblins.
Skewer them all. Poor Maurice, we're doomed.
This raw is a cad, my fluffy friend. We should make a run for it, mate.
Dear gods, I can picture it now. Human.
There's certainly something to be said for that. Risk my life for a rabbit and such? Madness. I'm out of here. Solo.
Instead of slaughtered by it, Morris Pumpkin is a miracle. The hero of the hour, nay, the century. How agreeable it is to gaze upon you. My champion, I am in your debt. Maurice and I are infinitely grateful. May neither thine horns nor thine udders ever wither.
Moo?
Well said, my dear Maurice. Well spoken indeed. But what shall we do next? We can hardly travel with you, now can we, kind hero? Perhaps we could seek those legendary pastures that nasty creature other Roy described. They may well be real, for a man such as he hasn't the imagination to dream up such a lovely place. Though perhaps it is safer and more convenient simply to return to Sisale.
Let's go.
Follow your dream, I say. Seek those pastures.
Agreed. May you find your paradise.
Yes, I had hoped you would say that. Oh, this is dizzyingly exciting. Maurice Dumpling, let us embark on a thrilling adventure forthwith.
Oh, well, you'll want, but I'm not interested. Laters.
Dins and dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boot.
We want to cross the beach, Daddy. Do we have to pay the toll too?
Seems these trolls have been busy of late.
They must be powerful indeed to overcome so many. Orcs and humans both.
What if we want to cross the beach, Daddy? Do we have to pay the toll too? Who too?
In the rain, nobody can see you cry.
Blessed may you be by all 7 gods, dear champion. But for your timely intervention, I would have ended up in either an orcish cauldron or the goblin slave pen, whence these thugs were ordered to march me. I'm from Hunter's Edge, a hamlet to the east of here. Heed my advice and stay well away from that pitiable place, for no human may walk there freely anymore. The orcs came in the night, and we stood as much chance as chickens would, locked in a henhouse with a pack of starving wolves. Not to mention that our champion Medora had already abandoned us. Those who escaped their initial frenzy, eluded their horrid hunger, were all enslaved. I myself was en route to be sold as a slave to the goblins, but those idiot orcs denied to pay a troll their eternal troll toll. Needless to say, a fight ensued. A fight that brute of a troll won with flying colours. We merry 3 were the only ones to escape the carnage and taking a bit of a breather. That is to say, the fight had made my orc guardians hungry once more. Had Pudgy Pete survived, it'd have been skinned and chopped by now. Regular devils, these orcs. Go ahead. The goblins have been the masters of Silverglen's mines for a while now. Took it by force. From what I hear, the erstwhile miners back in the village have no idea their brethren from Hunter's Edge are being forced to slave in their lost quarry. The more fool them. Ask me not why it has been the nucleus of such strife, for I haven't the foggiest. In truth, I don't intend to find out either. Thanks again for freeing me, dear champion. I'll make a dash for it to Seal, and hope the undead there have grown sluggish enough for me to slip by.
Dear Starstone Commanders, I do apologize for the state your homestead is currently in. It's like a zoo in here, or worse, an imparium. That's right. These red little blighters appeared as out of nowhere when another one of the portals became active. God 7 or 700. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's imps. I know, but really, they're zany, they're exasperating, they're unpredictable, and they have about as much use for history as a professional clairvoyant has. Band of? Why, I'm not one of them. Not one of those exiles that were slaves to demons and their own inadequacies. But talk to them if you must hear their history. I haven't the stomach for the vagaries of my own species. No, what I need is the sound of a symphony, a whiff and a swig of old tasty wine, and above all, a shelter away from imps.
I think I could fly straight to the void. All the way up!
Greetings, Source Hunter. I've a great many questions for you, if you've the time to answer them. Well, to start, I do quite wonder how this place came to be. A shelter plane at the end of time? Incredible! Next, I'm curious if you could tell me the exact weight of your partner. I'm guessing somewhere in the area of 24,670 racules, but I can't be totally certain. If you had time, I'd also like to inquire after your dear mother. How is her health these days? And that rash on her right cheek? Healed, I presume? And finally, compasses. How in the God's 7 names do they work? And so the mysteries remain.
place this is. A lovely locale to rest my weary belly. Far better than the hellish plains we imps are used to. Yes, I think we'll stick around. Oh, with your approval, of course. What's that? We have it! Marvellous! No, that hoity-toity historian thinks he's so much better than us demon thralls just because he was never actually enthralled by demons. And yet he's no more than a lackey to the gods, isn't he? What's the difference? Well, right you are. Grab a drink, sit you down, and lend me all the ears you have. We imps, you see, are a mixed breed of demons and some other long-forgotten race, which means we aren't as evil as the devils that begot us, but I'll be damned twice over if we aren't as clever. We hail from the realm of Nemesis, where demons have ruled supreme since, well, forever, really. Their knowledge of secrets and arcane scholarship is unparalleled. As unparalleled, in fact, as our inquisitiveness. Now, curiosity may have killed the cat, poor thing, but it enslaved us imps as well. We were blinded by the promises of knowledge the demons dangled in front of our eager faces. Yes, well, in hindsight it wasn't, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. Here's what happened. In return for our fair share of demonic knowledge, all of us imps had to sign our names in an indestructible book called the Codex, which was to be considered an oath of servitude, a contract of give and take for mutual benefit, and signed out of free will. Fools that we were, we readily agreed, and thereby signed our way into slavery. For we had to do everything the demons told us to, and they, in turn, shared very little knowledge with us indeed. Quite so. That's because one day, a particularly clever imp amongst us devised an escape plan. If we would be able to steal the Codex and disappear with it, the demons would no longer be able to lay claim on us, for without the proof of the Codex, the contract between us would be broken. One night, as the demons lay sleeping after a most sordid orgy indeed, we stole the Codex and fled from Nemesis through a rift. Ever since then, we've been on the run, for our masters swore they'd return the Codex to Nemesis so they can claim our servitude once more. So all we do is run and hide ad nauseam. Eternal fugitives are we. Every year, I said.
Doom!
Well, I kind of got lost, to tell you the truth. That's what happens after generations of flight. Things get misplaced. And yet, wherever that bloody book may be, up until now, the demons still haven't found it. So, good news there. Only a matter of time until they do, though. Unless, of course, time ends first. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck? Now behave yourselves, you lot. This is a nice sort of place, and we don't want to muck it up.
I sense an eerie presence here.
Yes, like creepy crawlies down the spine. Demons.
Yeah. You do not disappoint. I knew you'd come this way. Room by room, you encroach upon this territory, woefully torn from time. No, you do not disappoint. Something much more harmful still. You excruciate beyond all thinkable bearing. You have our thankfulness, our eternal gratitude, the acknowledgement of the void. So why do you fight us? Why do you stand against the promise of oblivion? Relent, Guardians, relent. You did your duty long, long ago. Do not undo what had to be done.
Duty? I wonder what he meant by that.
And I wonder why we had the thanks of those that long for the end of time.
fallen stars, forgotten angels from on high. How long has it been? An age, an eon. But you've changed quite considerably, I see. Yes, the divine is but a glimmer in the farthest reaches of your gaze. Well, perhaps I can help you. One of your kind ought to be a bit stronger of arm, a bit quicker of wit after all. And we are all counting on you, sir. Yourself redone, of course. Your very parts and pieces reorganized into something simply better. My autobiography will hardly serve you. What's far more relevant is what I see in you. Quite crucial, your survival, isn't it? And you do seem such a reasonable sort to boot. There's very little pleasure greater than dealing with a reasonable sort, I find.
How can I help you, my friend?
There are quite a number of imps here, my most honored guest.
Just inside.
Threads I weave and tales I see. All will I tell.
A bit drafty in here, isn't it? Are we near a vent?
Moloch. I know of him. He has a kind soul. In as far as kindness has least to dwell within the confines of a demon's body. He is kind in that he is honest. For that which you give, you will receive something in return with no strings attached. No unpleasant threads for me to weave. Not always was he so, no. He was true to his vicious nature. But during the Great War on Chaos, he, supposedly immortal, found himself on his back, with your sword halfway down his throat. You saw the fear in his eyes, the incomprehensibility of death and defeat, and so you took pity on him. He hasn't forgotten your kindness and became somewhat kind in return. A demon redeemed.
I'd welcome you back to your homestead, but it seems the Imparium on the Imp plane at the end of Imp is far more appropriate.
Say, have you seen my magic box? It's got all kinds of wonders stashed inside.
Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend? If you say so, Source Hunter. But take a lesson from the ancient king of Battlestone.
You call to Wolgraff. He awaits your query. A wide smile.
The deer casts a fearful glance at you. It opens its mouth as if to speak, but no words escape. With great sadness in its eyes, the deer nods and points its head toward the east. Yonder dwells what took its voice, if indeed this animal is to be believed.
No sooner have you spoken to the mute deer than Wolgraff slips a piece of paper in your hand.
Sorcerer at work. I know it. Hunt, find, slay. Why not important? Another note reads. Sorcerers depraved, have no reasons, and have no reason to live.
You call to Wolgraff. He awaits your queries. Wolgraff gives a curt disgruntled.
Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend? May the hunt continue!
We left the deathly hag. She hovered over the councillor's deathbed among the throng of his beloved, watching, waiting, vials of purple evil at her hip, excitement on her slavering lips. Cloaked was she in a wallflower charm. Unseen was she by the groups of maids and husbands and children that would surely shriek if they saw her. Quickly, before my audience disperses, I can't seem to convince Mrs. Hollingsworth there to choose a tale. Would you mind doing us all the honor? I'd be harrowed to sing to you of Brachus Rex, the last Source King. Delighted to sing of Astarte, the fallen goddess of the Source. Terrified to tell you of Babe Oape, the Hag of Death. Our first friend, shall it be? Astarte, Mother of the Source, who reared us and vanished. The greatest mystery. Yes, and so I sing. Sing the story of Astarte,
A
revered
storyteller.
goddess of the source.
I wonder if he knows the
Oh,
ending to the
how
legend of the
mighty,
spurned prince.
Yet oh,
Jared
how
never got
fallen.
past chapter 7.
Astarte
Go
was
ask him,
born
lady.
of the godflower
I'd
soon
pay a coin or
after
two
the
to hear a
coming
good
of
tale
light.
right about now.
She shot up like a weed, and within a week of her birth...
Oh, do you hear it, friend? The forest music hums, buzzes, falls and rises like waves, like starlight through the atmosphere. Imagination, friend. It's imagination that transforms this music into the surreal. Perhaps my music can help you unlock your dreams. Perhaps one of my compositions could add some modicum of joy to your life. I'd be so happy to share this gift with you. If it please you, select something from my catalogue.
Existence and Astarte. Source sang through every fiber of life and life. And its days were quickly numbered on doom's dreadful fingers. In time, as must everyone, Astarte faltered. Now those who would heal had to kill to do it. Those who attempted to meditate upon Source, those who would once commune with the goddess, went
Baking like a cake.
Where did the goddess go?
Very sorry. I shouldn't laugh. It's just next God's Day is going to be very eventful for the likes of you. Profess? Hardly. Who can stand those dried-up old windbags with their podiums and their gavels and their big curly wigs? Wait, what were we talking about? Ah, yes, Source Hunter. I do not profess to see the future. I simply do. I am the knower of secrets, the conveyor of fates, and have been since the age of 2. I'll have roasted rabbit for supper next week. My firstborn, Charlio, will arrive on a clear-skied afternoon, and in 7 years' time I'll inherit a pouch of gold as big as a dragon's egg. All this assuming, of course, you do not fail in your mission. Well, certainly not the whole story, if I'm perfectly honest. A rare event, indeed. Some threads are missing from this particular cat's cradle, but I've worked out the major details. It seems, Source Hunter, that the fate of all of us mere mortals rests squarely in your hands. The truth is a grande dame, Source Hunter. I'm sure your jumpy, impish friend would quite agree with me on that point. And I'd like the voices in my head to quit their mewling, but they insist to me as I'll insist to you. Money talks. 6 secrets I may have for you, Source Hunter. Granted, you can pay the price. That depends. How much have you got? Choose carefully, Source Hunter, for I can only consult the heavens for you a single time. One mustn't become too greedy regarding fate. No. A glut of foresight can drive one rather batty indeed. If you meet any wanderers, send them our way, won't you? My priceless collection of life ceramic infants won't grow itself, you know.
Baking like a cake.
Think she sees the future, does she? Ah, think she'll see it coming if I slap her upside her empty head?
Your temper is so like your mother's, Medora. I sometimes feel she is here with us.
What's this I've spotted?
are really dragging here.
I can't keep up!
Why are you all moving so fast?
It was another affair for the ages. Existence and Astarte. Source said through every fiber of life and life through every source of life. But like all
Stand back, puny human, or I shall sear you with the eternal flames of the mighty Drog. Fear the wind of my wings, quiver before the might of my razored talons. Blasphemy! Do your imperfect eyes fail to recognize my true nature? A rabbit I may be without, but a dragon I remain within. Even an eternal creature of legend and myth needs a vacation from the limelight now and then. Sometimes it does one good to hop about among the clover without one's every waking moment remembered in song and story. Begone, weakling!
I can't keep up!
Hot under the collar.
Sakes alive! Are you real? My mind is turning with illusions. The spiders, it couldn't have been, could it? My companions, is it too late? There's cobwebs behind my eyes, coming out of my ears. Am I mad? No, impossible. I'm clearer now than I have been in days. Of that much I am certain. The Spider Queen, it was she who poisoned us. She who would see her spawn gnaw off our limbs while we cried tears of thankful devotion. Yes, I can nearly remember. We're travellers, you see. Traders and merchants, ever en route from village to town. We'd heard these dusty plains would find us face to face with goblins, but this deterred us not. But the high winds proved too great for travel, and so we made an early camp that first night. As the sun disappeared below the horizon, the plains grew still, hauntingly still. We felt it in our stomachs. The unreality of it. Suddenly, as though she had appeared in a thunderclap, she was there among us, and none so much as fathomed the word escape before she'd stung us. But we did not die, no. Her bite was not a poison of death, but of dreams. Within minutes, each of us had succumbed. Hail to the Queen! The refrain sounded over and over, first in our minds, then from our very mouths.
It's heating up.
Welcomes you, a wandering minion of the Queen. We have devoted ourselves to the great Dream Weaver, the eight-legged, eight-eyed and eight-sensed lady of spun time. Man has ruled this world as a fumbling, foolish child king long enough. As his reign withers, the Dream Weaver shall rise. Whatever do you mean? We are all mere threads of gossamer in the weaver's web, yourself included.
The lot of them are more dinner-in-waiting than devotees. They've got to get out of here.
In my experience, hungry arachnids are hardly impressed by religious devotion.
You'd have us believe our Queen endangers us? How could the favour of Fang, the present of poison, frighten the Weaver's own children?
Shall befall us, and no dream shall escape us, and thus we praise her.
Oh, in truth, I can think of no fate more tantalising. Oh, she is delicious, and I hope I am.
From within the embrace of the cocoon of the eight-legged dame, we shall live lives of dreams.
Came to me in sleep. She beckoned me come. She beckoned me see. Her red hourglass marked the hour. Time slipped through. Apocalypse fell closer, closer. I dream of her silks, of her blessed kiss. The weaver of dreams, the queen of queens. Cubs are ours to nurture, ours to adore. Join us in this world.
Our nest welcomes you, a wandering minion of the Queen. We have devoted ourselves to the great man has ruled this world as a The Queen's cubs are ours to nurture, ours to adore. Join us in this world,
and spin me into silvery dreams.
Power stance!
face the unending darkness. What a delicate